Good afternoon, Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy here, and happy Savage Saturday, each and every one of you. Today is Savage Saturday Comic Review, episode 91, and we are reviewing The Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 88. And we have cover art by Steve Hickman, so we're going to show you that first to get this all going. You'll see a couple more copies over here for display throughout. So as far as covers go, we'll give this cover a B, not a B plus, not an A, not an A. It's a B. I like everything about it except for Conan. I think is drawn a little weird. Everything else I think looks fantastic. But the story inside was very good. And that story is called Isle of the Hunter, written by Michael Fleischer with John Buscema on the pencils, so already a win there. Rudy Nebres on the inks, another win, and Michael Fleischer's story, which he is an underrated Conan writer. Just about all of his stories from Conan I really enjoy, from when he gets a little more in depth to just the light fluffy stuff. But Conan's always in character. It's always a fun ride, and Michael Fleischer I don't think gets enough praise for his writing on Conan the Barbarian or The Savage Sword of Conan. He had great stories in both, and I'm a fan. So Isle of the Hunter. So of course, just for fun, because everybody loves the map. So there's the map of Hyboria. There you go. And so Isle of the Hunter. And as we open this up, we're opening up in Zambula. And we just have just a static image of people entering the city. So good little opening shot by John Buscema. And in that crowd, though, you see Conan getting through the streets, and he's headed to a local tavern there. As he's walking through, though, he's got his hood on, and he's got his face covered, and it's for good reason. As he's going by, he hears a caller yelling out, hear ye, be it hereby proclaimed by the satrap that the reward for the capture of Conan the Cimmerian has just been raised to a total of 1,000 crowns. And Conan's just swearing under his breath, is like, favors of Ishtar, 1,000 crowns, he says? Why, there's hardly a man alive who wouldn't turn in his own grandmother for an outsized reward like that. And from there, Conan knows he's got to play it quiet. He enters a tavern, and inside this tavern, he's just minding his business in a corner drinking. There are these two ladies that are dancing. They have the attention of everyone in the tavern. And you got the drunken louts all making the same jokes about who's going to end up with these lovely ladies. And their names are Sabrina and Soroya, and they're talking to each other. And one sister, Soroya, says to Sabrina, so many lusty beaux to choose from, Sabrina. How are we ever to decide among them? And then Sabrina says to Soroya, perhaps, Soroya, by giving our hot-blooded bravos the chance to show us just how much fighting spirit they've really got in them. And they make a proclamation that the last guy standing after a barroom brawl gets to bed both of them. And a fight ensues. Conan is trying to stay out of it. He's sitting in his part of the tavern, minding his own business. But you can see the mayhem getting started on these two pages, as well as Conan's stealthy entrance into the city. Give you a quick look at that. Beautiful art, of course. And the inking job by Rudy Nebres is a good compliment to Buscema's art. And now Conan's sitting there, and somebody comes up and tries to brain him and hits him over the head with a stool, which just busts over Conan's head. And he gets a little peeved, a little angry. He puts a quick arm up to the guy's chin, and out that guy is. And Conan gets up. He's like, it's bad enough you Randy Jackals nearly cracked my skull, but now I'll be blasted if I can even find where I set down my drink. And now Conan's in the fray. And he goes, and by Crom's thunder, that makes me mad. So you see the barroom brawl breaking out. One unfortunate guy involves Conan the Barbarian into the brawl. And now Conan is in the fray. And these poor fellows don't stand a chance against him. Conan is, if he's in the room, he's the apex predator. And you don't rouse the bull. All right, you got the two women are watching. Conan has cleared the floor with everybody. Everyone's down and out. And they say, well, sister, it appears it's time we prepared to award our prize bowl with his blue ribbon, right? And he's like, I'm no special hankering to be bedecked with ribbons, girl, but by Crom, 'twill likely take me all night to slake the thirst this brawl's worked up in me. And they're kind of teasing him, don't you have any other thirst to slake? Why keep it to just beer? And as Conan's starting to warm to their way of thinking, some guards come in, and you hear, drink nectar, barbarian? Ha, not likely. Not unless you find a means to lap it up with a severed head. And he is surrounded by guards and spears, which takes us to another location here, shortly in the satrap's palace. And he's in his bed with a few women feeding him grapes when he's interrupted and says there's something urgent he needs to tend to. He gets up, throws a few offhand comments to the women at the bed, like, you don't understand the way you have to be pulled away when you're an official of the state. And he is informed that Conan has been captured, and he cannot wait to get Conan decapitated. He orders a scaffold to be erected overnight to chop off Conan's head with, and sends a guy out to do it. Come morning, Conan is being led to this. You have the executioner out there, you have the satrap in his throne watching, and as Conan's head is laying down, you see the blade descending, and then something it goes askew and misses Conan, and you see the guy, the executioner with the hood, collapse with an arrow in the back of his head. And you see the two ladies who were in the bar with him up top, one with a bow, one with a sword, and they have saved our erstwhile barbarian's life there. So, great pages. So they join, Conan is watching as the two women jump down and they start disposing of the city guard, only to cut him free. So, a lot going on, just a lot of fighting on those 2 pages. A little exposition, but no major plot points, just Conan waiting to be freed. Once he is free, he also joins the fray, and it's a quick slaughtering of the guards that are around trying to detain him. Now, more on the way, the women remind him that a guest must know when to leave and not overstay his welcome, and he's like, too true. And he mounts a horse that they had stolen from him, and the satrap orders the remaining guards to follow them out and capture them by whatever means necessary. Now, as they're riding out, Conan's like, well, thank you for saving me, but there had to be a deeper reason than a promise to me in the tavern that you made the other night after I beat all those guys. And they're like, oh, yes, we want you to help us steal something. The reason my sister and I came to your rescue is that we want your help in plundering the vast treasure trove of Wazir Hassan Hassad Khan, one of the wealthiest men in the world. The Wazir is a miserly recluse. They say they want Conan alone, not with any of his zoo gears, because they won't add anything to it and they'll demand a high price. Conan agrees to go with them, and off they go. Now they do spy the guards, and you'll see the camp with the fires that are still chasing them, and they're about a half a day's ride away. Conan's starting to stress out about that a little, but they have a plan to take care of that. But before they do, on that eve, Conan gets to collect the reward that the women had promised him, and they seduce him. Not that there was much seducing Conan needed, but seduce him they did. Alright, so we get to the camp of the guards. We have a few keep a watch. Conan takes one out, another, and then they set the horses of the guards free, and then they're on their way to wherever they're going. Right? So they get to the coast, and the one girl says, we've a small boat hidden in yonder cove, Cimmerian, and they set out that evening. Now, once they're in the water and they're coming close to their destination, a serpent rises up, and Conan's like, eyes are Crom. He's all ready to fight. He's like, get behind me, girls. And like, no, stay your sword. And Conan can't understand why, until, of course, he gets brained in the back of the head by one of the women. And out he is. And she is, of course, the two women, Sabrina and Soroya. They beach the boat. They have a crew waiting there who carries Conan off. And Conan wakes up in the jungle. And a couple arrows notching the tree next to him. And he is on his way running for his life. Pardon me. And you hear this group of people saying, fan out, we'll finish him, we'll flush him out soon enough. And Conan is just being herded, unknowns to him, towards a destination. But Conan, ever resourceful, he finds a pit, he sets a trap, and he's setting up traps around the jungle for the pursuing marauders that are working for the main guy on this island. As he sets the one trap, the one guy falls in it and dies on spikes. So a lot going on, a lot of good action. Our Cimmerian, of course, once again, falling into the traps of a woman and paying the price for it. And then, of course, another trap is set, and some hapless dude walks into that and takes a few spikes to his neck and body, and he's gone. And we shift to inside a keep, right, with the brooding castle stronghold that dooms. Meanwhile, within the brooding castle stronghold that dominates this isle. So it's like, once again, you've served me well, ladies. They say he's a formidable specimen you've brought in, and easily worth the 10,000 crowns I'm paying you. As you all know, I've stocked and bagged all the world's great game beasts in my day. Lion, leopard, unicorn, even the great ice bear. He goes, but when all is said and done, what sort of quarry, however magnificent, can possibly hope to rival the sport provided by a cunning, battle-seasoned man? So they got paid, and the guy's saying, of course, even as we sit here and toast the coming hunt, my beaters are out in the forest, goading the Cimmerian onward, antagonizing him, driving him relentlessly toward this castle, where he plans to finish off Conan in hand-to-hand combat, after, of course, his prey is tired out through a jungle chase. So the guy's not exactly, goes, oh, man-to-man battle, the odds are fair, but are they after you've exhausted your prey, running for their life through a jungle? And this is what he does. He has the women go out, beguile a man, bring him back to the island, and leads them through a chase through the jungle, and at the end fights and kills them. But so Conan is, you see him in the trees there, great shot, reminiscent of Tarzan almost. And he is fleeing on foot, staying ahead of the people pursuing him, even though he is being led somewhere. But while that's going on, the guardsmen that were chasing Conan and the girls arrive at the island also. And now the island guards and the guards of the satrap are fighting. And you have another battle going on with Conan. And then you go back to the forest with Conan finally getting to the castle. Now here's the battle between the two separate guards of the two separate royalties. And once up there, the guy presents himself to Conan, and the fight is on. Conan sees the girls. He knows that he's been duped already. Now his anger's up, and just an epic battle starts. The guy is fully confident in his ability to beat Conan, especially after him being tired out through the forest. And Conan calls him a dirty son of a stinking dog, and the two women are, he looks angry, Sabrina, most angry, Soroya. And the guy that is there with Conan is bragging, let me first give you a brief lesson in swordsmanship, my friend. It is all, and he goes, what? By Ishtar, your reflexes, they're like lightning. And the guy is being home back, and he can't believe it. And then the guy tries the dirty trick. He pulls a knife out, casts it at Conan. Conan uses the shield to deflect it. And then you see this massive fight going on. The guy's still bragging, trying to best Conan. We all know what the outcome of this is going to be, though. And as they're watching, the two women are watching, and they think that the one guy's going to beat Conan and they're pondering like, well, he gave us a few weeks of pleasure. at the end, you see Conan here run his sword through him, and the guy is done. And he falls dead, and the two women go to attack Conan before he can attack them, but he disarms them. He's like, yeah, you're good fighters. I watched you guys fight back in the village. He goes, but you'd become even better fighters if I taught you a trick or two. He goes, which I'm not likely to do. And he disarms them both and carries them out. And when they keep fussing, he just drops them to the ground, throws them in chains, and is dragging them out. So they're learning a hard lesson now. They cross the wrong barbarian, and instead of watching another man die, they are being dragged out. And he is going to use them to probably barter his way through some place in land he mentions. And he goes, sets out in the boat that they're heading out. And that's when the guards are finishing off, the satrap's guards are finishing off the guards of the island, and they see Conan setting out. And they set out in pursuit. Conan has the conch that summons the sea beast on that boat. He grabbed it on his way out, knowing what it was for. And the beast rises and starts wreaking havoc on that boat of the people pursuing. And you get some great pages here of this beast with John Buscema and Rudy Nebres. Just a lot of good action. They're decimated. And then all of a sudden, on this next page, Conan finds that there's a leak in the boat. And he's like, look, we're too heavy. For as things look now, we'll be plumbing the bottom long before we reach the shore. And no doubt what I'm telling you, just look for, and don't doubt what I'm telling you, just look for yourself. And they're like, a leak. He goes, hey, and if we expect to reach shore before going under, our only hope is to jettison some weight. And then that's when the two women start fighting, one to overthrow the other into the water. And their sisterhood is kind of defeated in that moment. And they end up carrying each other over the boat, one trying to kill the other in this fierce battle. And Conan wants to try to save them. The beast comes out of the water and devours them both. And Conan is just left to watch. And he's preparing for the beast to attack him. But the beast never does. Maybe because he blew the conch. He doesn't know. That's his only reasoning. But the beast lets him pass. And Conan is on his way to freedom. He doubts the boat will make it all the way to the coast. He's going to have to swim for a league or two. But fun story. Again, our barbarian just finding all sorts of trouble for himself. Just trying to have a tankard of ale in the bar. Sucked into intrigue he wanted no part of. But of course, everyone he comes across is a little less alive for knowing him. So that's it. So overall, I think this is a good B+ of a story. It's a super fun yarn. Again, Conan completely in character. His survival instincts there. His fallibility's there. And Michael Fleischer doing a fine job writing this tale of our barbarian. You got characters that are fun to dislike, and it's just one event to another. Just again, another series of unfortunate events that Conan is just stumbling into and has to survive. And great battles, great art, B+ story, and of course A+ art with John Buscema. Inks will give an A2 with Rudy Nebres. Although my favorite inker for John Buscema is and always will be Ernie Chan. He was the best. But Rudy Nebres is great too. Overall, a really fun story, a fun issue. A story that I could see myself reading many, many times. It's just a fun little yarn. But that's it for this week. Let me know if you enjoyed the story. And until next time, keep it casual. Attention all, use channel sponsor Rogue Trader at theroguetraderutah.com and my code KEEPITCASUAL for 10% off your comic cleaning and pressing needs. Remember, when submitting your books to be graded, use a trusted professional.